Hello. So WordPress is one of the most popular tools out there to build a website. AWS is one of the most popular cloud computing platforms right now, and it's constantly growing. But so I just figured I'd kind of bring those two together and make this tutorial on how to create, how to launch a WordPress website using AWS, specifically the AWS service Amazon LightSail. So here's the tutorial, and let's go over this tutorial a little bit. You can see it takes like 10 minutes, free tier. LightSail is a computing service within AWS. Beginner level, that's updated, it was just last year. And I just gone through this tutorial, and it's pretty spot on to the interface, which is good because that's not always the case. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to, this is free tier eligible. I'm going to go, I already have an account. So what we're going to do, so you do need to have that stuff. You need to have an AWS account. I already got it, so I'm going to bypass that. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and right click and open link in a new window. And it's going to take me to the LightSail interface. Now my personal preference on when I'm working on one computer, which I am right now, is have the different windows. Okay, some people like to have different tabs. I like to have different windows, and just hit let me close something out here real quick, and just basically do it as you see me doing right now. I just kind of hit Alt Tab, and it takes me to different windows. I'm trying to clear up my space a little bit, and I'll keep that open. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm in LightSail. So all I did again was, let's go ahead and recap on that. Okay, right click on this, open link in a new window. Again, that's my personal preference. Okay, so we're in LightSail. And again, LightSail is one of the computing services offered within AWS. And it does, it's a virtual server, storage, database, and networking. And it's cost effective and has a monthly plan, and you'll see what that monthly plan is in a little bit. And so we got this. On the Instances tab of the LightSail homepage, we're going to click Create Instance. So instance is just basically computing power. It's a virtual computer within the AWS servers. And we're going to click Create Instance. So we're creating in the instance and the Ohio Zone A, which is fine. Let's see. You can change it based off where your location is, like Virginia. Most new services within AWS come out of Virginia. Start with the Virginia region first, which is US East 1. But depending on your location, you select the one that's closest to you. If I was doing a new service, a fairly new service being launched by AWS, I would stick with Virginia. But because I'm in Ohio and this is not necessarily a new service, and I believe it's properly supported here in Ohio, in the US East 2 region, I'll just go ahead and leave it at US East 2, which is Ohio. So I can change the availability zone if I like, but I'm not. It's fine right where it's at. I can choose between Linux and Unix. Want to leave it at Linux and Unix. And just basically, it's a Windows platform or a Linux-based platform. Let's see. And we're going to choose WordPress. So we're going to go ahead and select that. That was already default selected because that's the first one. You see there's other options depending on what you're wanting to do. And let's go ahead and let's follow the instructions. So, boom, boom, boom. Okay, past that. Let's see. Linux, Unix, WordPress. Choose an instance plan. Okay. So you can see instance plans. First month is free. It's $3.50 a month. It's 512 megabytes, one virtual CPU, 20 gigabytes of SSD, solid state storage, 1 terabyte of transfer. So it just depends on what you need. For the website, for the WordPress website we're building on this tutorial, this is just fine. We don't really need anything beyond that. Let's see. What else do we got to do? Enter a name for your instance. So we can, name it. I'm going to name this one. Let's see. Let's name it Pinwell Properties. If we had some key value tags, if we want to add, we could. Let's see, we can do name, and that would be Kenwell property. Key only, hold on, okay, I did the wrong thing, sorry. Key value tags, that's what I want. Name, Kenwell properties. Okay, just to have something there. Create instance. There's some guidelines on the naming, as you can see right there. And let's see. Connect to your instance through SSH and get the password for your WordPress website. So it talks about how the default password that we use to sign into our WordPress website you'll see it here in just a second. Complete the following steps. Connect to your instance using the browser-based SSH client in the LightSail console. Okay, so in the instances tab, okay, that's still pending. Give that, okay, now it's running, so we're able to move on. So on the instances tab, let's go ahead and select this right here, and that launches up that console. Again, this is Linux-based. Oh, why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing that. Make sure I didn't miss a step. Okay, it says that the instance has just started up. Give it a minute or so to try. I want to pause this while it's giving it a minute or so. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Let's try it now. Oh, okay, login failed. Try it again. Let's pause this. Pause. Okay, it looks like I can't pause it right now, so you just have to bear with me on that. There we go. Okay. So this is Linux based. This is the console. So what we need to do next is go back to the instructions. We can just copy this. And we are going to, this is Linux based, so Control V does not work on this. It does if you're, I think, on Windows. On this, you have to do right click and paste, hit enter. And you see this right here, this is the password we're going to need for WordPress. So select that, right click, copy, and that's what I used before. Let's go ahead and paste this new one in there. Oops, there we go, okay. And so we're going to be using that password when we log into WordPress here shortly. Boom, boom. So in your browser, we're going to copy this and Control C, open up a new tab, Control V, and if I hit enter, you'll see how it also says in this address, replace the public IP address with the public IP address of your WordPress instance. And that can be found here, back in LightSail. This is our public IP. Control C to copy that and format, right here. And I'm just going to replace where it says this right here, Control V to put the IP address, and it's going to take me to the admin log. It's going to take me to the login. Boom, 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 boom. Get to the right spot. So log into your instance and the username or email address. We're going to enter, user. And the password is going to be what we copied and pasted here earlier. Control C, Control V, hit, and you can see it's the password, hit enter, or log in rather. It's going to take you to the dashboard. So this is, I'm not going to remember this one. So this is WordPress. Your WordPress website is up and at 'em, so to speak. This is the dashboard. This is all the files to get into WordPress instance. Let me put it that way. Your website's not up and at 'em, But let's see what happens if we hit visit site, open link in a new tab. Oh, okay, it is. It is fully functional. So this is if you have an IP address, which is a longer, harder way to remember what a website address is, a domain name. We'll talk about domain name in here just a second. This website is up and at 'em. Okay, so signed in, WordPress site. Okay, let's see. Create a LightSail static IP address and attach it to your WordPress instance. So the default public IP for your WordPress instance changes if you stop and start the instance. But a static IP will always be the same, meaning this will always be 3139.233.227 instead of changing if we make it a static IP address. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go back to LightSail, going to think network. Boom, 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 boom. So we choose that. Yes, that's right. So this is the only one I have here. If I had more, I would make sure this is selected. Networking, static IP. This is one I created earlier. I want to go ahead and delete that one just to keep it clean. Okay, so this is what we would do next. Again, that one you just saw me delete was from a previous practice run. It has nothing to do with what we're going over now. But as per the instructions, go to networking tab, create static IP, and select the IP. I'm sorry. The static IP location and attached instance are pre-selected based on the instance that you chose earlier in this tutorial. So that's what we chose earlier. So you can see it's a WordPress instance, and the name we used was Pinwell Properties. Identify your static IP. So let's go ahead and give it a name. And let's see, are only free while attached to an instance, okay? And create, I believe, yes. Okay, some names, okay, so it's already been taken. Let's go ahead and put a 1 in that. There we go. So we got an IP address. So the static IP is available for public connection worldwide. So let's see what would happen if we copy and paste this. Okay, so again, hello world. And let's see, open up this here again. I hit refresh. I've not stopped and restarted my instance, so this probably will stay the same if I had to guess. But whenever we do stop and start our instance for whatever reason, this IP address will always be the same. Okay, where am I at now? Boom, 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 boom. Create a LightSail DNS zone and map a domain to your WordPress instance. So a domain is like what you would see on the top. So a domain for this one right here is Amazon.com. There's the main top level domain. So that's an example of a domain. Just whatever you see up here. The longer stuff right here, it just indicates kind of like what files you are in within the specific domain. But this generally makes up the domain, okay, in this general area right here. Let's see. So for example, I go to bytesandbits.org, which is a website that I have. This is the domain, okay. Pretty Nerdy Social Media, it's another website that I have. This is the domain, okay. If I go to something here, go to a particular tab, or button rather, you can see it's adding something because that's a specific page within the website, okay? But ultimately, this part right here is the domain. And domain names are handled and monitored, or managed rather, by domain name service. Get back in here, not that one, not that one. Let's get out of this. Domain name service, which is like somewhere there's a big old list of domain names and everyone has to be unique. Let's see. So we can transfer management of your domain's DNS records to LightSail. So basically that means if you already bought a domain name from Google or, oh shoot, GoDaddy or wherever, you can transfer it to LightSail. This allows you to easily map a domain to your WordPress instance and manage more of your website's resources. So we're going to go through this process, and we are actually going to explore Amazon's DNS service. It's called Route 53 a little bit. Okay. So complete the following steps on the networking. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to home. Make sure that's the one we're working in. It's the only one. Hit networking. Create DNS Zone. Okay, so now enter the domain you've already registered. We don't have a registered domain name for this tutorial that we're doing, so we're going to explore Route 53 a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and click on that little pop-out arrow. I think we're kind of diverting. Yes, we are diverting from this a little bit because kind of going forth, it kind of assumes like there's a domain name that you've already registered. So this is let's go ahead and expand this. You can see we're in the Route 53 dashboard, which is, again, AWS's domain name service. So it's been a while since I've been on this, so let's see how rough I am at this. So enter a domain name. So let's say Pinwell Properties. Let's see if that's available. So if I hit check. So availability for pinwellproperties.com, it's not available. Okay. And there's a couple different ways that I can do this. I can do drop down here, .com, .net, .org, and these are not monthly, but annual cost for it. There's different top level domains depending on location, geographic location, and what kind of organization you are, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, there's some for consulting. It's $12. Let's see, what do I want in here? Let's see what .org. .org is $12. .org looks good. Let's go ahead and hit check. And pinwellproperties.org is available, $12, add to cart. So this is going to give me that domain. It's going to be mine for a year, for at least 1 year. I want to make sure I have it longer than $60, but 1 year's fine. Okay, and hit continue. Now this is where I'm kind of rusty on, so just bear with me. And I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. You're watching me kind of struggle with this. So it's a person. Let's see. Tasha Pinwell, organization. Let's go ahead and do Tasha M. Pinwell at gmail.com. My number is 40-645-0509. I'm not really showing you any information that you can't figure out if there's enough Google search. I'm not terribly concerned about blurring stuff off right now. Okay, hit continue. You can see it's pretty self-explanatory on that. Skip email verification. You may have trouble receiving a verification email from us. If your email is correct, you can proceed with domain registration and wait for the email later. But eventually, sometime I am going to have to verify it. So I understand that. Let's see. So it talks a little bit more about Route 53. I'm not going to spend too much time focusing on this unless I get stuck on something. Do I want to renew it? Not really. Let's just kind of see how things go over the next year. Yeah, I read it. Skip verification for now. Okay. Complete order. Okay, I've already got payments set up with it looks like AWS credits. Got AWS credits too, which evidently don't apply to this, but I already have a payment system set up with AWS, so it should just be on that bill. And then let's see, hit close. Go to domains. Okay, it looks like registration is in progress. Let's see what it lets me do now. So that's the domain name. Let's put it in here. Nothing should happen with it. Yeah, okay. Okay, now let's see. Well, let me continue on. And obviously, this is not something that I can do repetitiously a lot. Then I would have like a bunch of domain names, and I don't really want a bunch of domain names. I already got more than I probably should. Okay, identify your DNS zone. I'm not going to worry about that. Let's see what the instructions tell me to do. Make note of the name server. Okay, yeah, that's what we want. Okay, DNS. Okay, we got some name servers. Boom, 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 boom. After management of your domain's DNS records are transferred to LightSail, add a record to the point of the apex of your domain to your WordPress instance. Okay, say that again. After management of your domain's DNS are transferred to LightSail, okay, you can add these name server. Okay, sorry, gotta reread this stuff. Make note of the name server. Okay, I saw. You add these name server addresses to your domain name registrar. Domain names registrar, which is Route 53, which is what we just did. And, okay. After the management, okay. So let's see if we can figure that out. Let's see, domain. Okay. Let's see if it gives me instructions because I'm kind of struggling. I'm on the struggle bus right now. Let's see, pending. Okay. I may need to wait. Yeah. Okay. So the domain name registration is in progress. You can add these names to the name server addresses. So I'm looking for the name server address is what, I'm sorry. I'm looking for the you can add these server name addresses to your domain names registrar to transfer management. Okay, so I need to find the registrar on this. And I wonder if this needs to happen first. So we may not, there might need to be a part 2 on this. Might have to kind of hold off from here. Let's kind of see what else it takes us into. I do think that we do need a part 2, unfortunately. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. I want to pause this and see if that confirmation email will help. Okay, I went to the email, verified it. Let's see if that will kind of get us going now. So let's go back in here, refresh it. Okay, this may still take some time. Okay, so I want to go ahead and call it on this video, and there'll have to be a part 2, I'm sorry, on how to do this. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm back, part 2. Let's see if we can finish this. So the domain is registered. That's done. It's green. Let's see where I'm at because I kind of lost track. Nope, I'm not doing that one yet. Hold on. Where am I at? WordPress, this one. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Okay. So what we're at right now, so we need to add the name server addresses to our LightSail. I think I closed LightSail. Did I close LightSail? I did, didn't I? Okay. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Not working. Get back to where we're at. DNS Zone. That's not what I want. Let's see. Oh, that's what I want. Okay, so name servers. Now I'll figure out where to put those suckers. So what it says we need to do is Add these name server address to the domain names registrar. Let's see, find and register an available domain. So no. I think I just saw what I wanted. Let's see, this will take me to it. Manage DNS. I think it's create hosted zones. Like I said earlier, it's been a while. Shoot, that's not what I wanted. You will have to configure a domain provider to use the following name servers. So I'm looking for something that indicates name servers. Do you see any? Oh, name servers. Okay, there we go. Looks like that's already in there. So it looks like I did all that searching around for a whole lot of nada. It's DNS 152. Oh, so it's not in there yet. Okay. I don't know if I can copy all of this. Might do one by one. Yeah, I gotta do one by one. Let's see. Now, do I need to remove the other ones? Names are required. Okay. Not going to delete anything yet because I'm not certain. I'm just going to copy it on Notepad so I can see it easily. Arrange max allowed. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of. Looks like I got to get rid of one of them at least. So I don't think they're the same. Are they the same? No. Let's go ahead and get rid of one of them. Need to put this last one in there. Let's just do it like this. Okay, that works. Update. After management of your domain name, your domain's DNS records are transferred to LightSail. Add an A record to point the apex of your domain to the WordPress instance. So then choose Add Record. You need to get back into LightSail. Add record, A record, and in the subdomain box, enter at the such as. Okay. Okay. And the maps to box. So you can see in the subdomain box, enter the @ symbol because it maps to the apex of your domain, such as anything that has that. And you can see that it says right here, at the subdomain you would like to create pinwellproperties.org, enter the @ point pinwellproperties.org to an IP address. Okay. And the maps to box, choose static IP that you attach to the WordPress instance in the previous. Okay, so do I still have that somewhere? I don't believe so. So what we're going to do, I'm going to right click, open link in new tab, and then, okay, that one's selected, networking, need to find that static IP, which was here, and it's this. Get to the right screen. So basically anything that's got pinwell, that has, I guess a suffix or anything that's got a direction of pinwellproperties.org indicates that domain, it's going to go to this instance, static IP, which, and it's always, that static IP is always going to be, it's always going to exist until I completely delete and terminate it. Okay. Choose a save icon. Or save. And that's it. Okay. What's it doing? It did something. Looks like it's good. Allow time to change and propagate the internet's DNS before your domain begins routing traffic. Okay. So, Pinwell properties.org. Does it do anything? And it does. How awesome is that? Okay, so this worked out pretty well. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.